respect any decision that Reggie made. I'm sure it was extremely hard for him. I know talking to him earlier in the process, I didn't speak to him today. This has been extremely difficult on him, and it's something that has hurt him a lot. So I'm sure this was just more icing on the cake for him.
When did you speak to him?
Earlier in this process.
Like this year?
Yes, over the last couple months.
What are your personal feelings, Lane, about that season? You look back on the 05 season. Reggie was such a great player, and now the fact that he's got to give that trophy back. How do you view what happened that year?
Well, from my understanding, he doesn't have to give it back. This was his decision to do. And so, like I said, I respect that. I don't think of that season any different than that. I think that season was a great year until the last 6 minutes of the game. We had a 2-score lead and moved away. So, other than that, I have really good memories of it.
What do you respect about the decision?
That it's his decision. And whichever decision he would make, I respect it. So, I don't really, have an opinion on it, what I would do. But I respect whatever decision he can make.
What do you think it means to the university?
I don't know. The university's already made a decision to give the Heisman back from here. So I don't think it really means much to the university. The university already made its decision.
Have you talked to your team about it and addressed that at all?
I just mentioned it to him on the way out. I know that you guys view this as a really big deal to this team. These players don't even know Reggie Bush. None of them were here when he was here, so it's not as big a deal to them as you may think it is, or a topic that we didn't even discuss in the team meeting. The only reason I brought it up was just so they weren't surprised when you guys asked them.
But his actions caused this team this year not to be able to go to a bowl game.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant to anything these guys did, whether he gave a trophy back or not. I've said it before, unfortunately the wrong people are suffering, the Trojan fans and these players that weren't here.
Do you think Reggie should apologize to the university?
It's not, I don't, that's not really my position to comment on. I really don't care, to be honest with you. This has nothing to do with this team, it has nothing to do with the direction of this program. That's the past. Obviously we're suffering from it, and we're moving forward and making the best of the situation.
Lane, did you go over the injuries?
No, I didn't have a chance. Okay, back to football. Armand Armstead was limited. Nick Perry was limited. Brian Bauckham was full. Marquise Simmons was full. Simi did not practice. Xavier Grimble did not practice. And Jordan Cameron was limited.
You were already getting the defensive line. With those guys limited, what does that do?
Well, it's an opportunity for some other guys. We have not played very many defensive linemen through the first 2 games, except for late in the Hawaii game. We need to develop depth. That's a position that normally most teams rotate 2 groups in there, 7 or 8 guys throughout the game, especially early in the year. We haven't been able to do that. We need to start doing that. So we've got to play some guys that haven't played very much. We're going to have to put Christian Thomas in there. He was a tight end 2 months ago for us as a true freshman. Kevin Green, who really hasn't played very much at all, is going to have to play some. We've moved Derek Simmons out there. He was the guy that we've been using to give us a break out there, even though he's really a deep tackle. So it's one of the positions extremely thin. And it's just once again a reminder of it's good for us because this is what it's going to be like over the next 4 years. And so we're getting used to it.
Even though your dad, Pete Carroll, it's still kind of a defensive system. Last year, Tennessee, obviously, all the systems were new for those guys. Did you notice over the course of the season the guys getting better on the defense, the Tennessee more comfortable and playing faster and stuff?
Yeah, we were playing really good last year for a while, and we got a number of injuries, especially at the linebacker position, and we lost our true freshman safety to the suspension. Prior to that, there was a point in the year where we were getting up the least explosive plays in the country. So our guys were really getting a grasp of the defense. And we had a couple bumps in there with some injuries and suspension. But our guys will improve. We'll play 2 games together, and they'll continue to have a grasp of the defense, and we'll improve up front because we keep moving guys around from inside to outside. So hopefully once we get completely healthy up there and we get guys in the same spot, we can continue to improve.
Is the running back situation, the tailback situation, status quo in terms of Tyler still a starter?
Yeah, as of today, Tyler's a starter. We're still looking at all the other guys, and we'll continue to take in everything they do throughout the week and when they get their chances to play as well.
Mitch got a lot of work today. Is that any particular reason why he got so much work?
No, that wasn't unusual. There was nothing different. He took his normal amount of reps. He had been limited, in the Hawaii week, so he hadn't taken as many. But since then, that's the normal amount.
Do you foresee Marquise Simmons having a role on this team if he's healthy?
I hope so. I hope he can help us on special teams, eventually help us at linebacker. We don't really have very much depth there at linebacker. We've really, besides, getting Chris in there a little bit in that Hawaii game, we've played 3 guys the whole entire time. And in that last game, we didn't play a backup 1 snap, so it would be good to get some depth there.
Are you any closer to figuring out which freshmen are going to redshirt, which are going to play?
Yeah, basically the guys, if we haven't played them yet, they're most likely going to redshirt, and then the guys we're going to play. Once we play them, we're going to keep trying to play them some more. So that'll help to our depth, hopefully.
Is there any chance because the defensive line, any chance you'd throw Yuko out there?
Probably not unless we unfortunately had some more injuries. We'd really like to redshirt him, even though he's a good player now. He's going to be a really good player for us. We've got to find a way to redshirt some of these guys for what's coming.
Obviously, you don't know if Jordan Cameron's going to be able to play Saturday, but meanwhile, Blake Ailes is getting a lot more reps. What have you seen out of him spring and fall? What kind of works he at?
We've seen flashes with Blake. We're looking for more consistency. He'll make a play here or there, but then the little things, he'll step wrong, with some technique stuff. So he needs to be more consistent. This could be a good opportunity for him.
Did you ever get a determination on why Ellison was ejected?
I did not. The only thing that we have heard from the conference is that he's fine to play this week.
And did you mention penalties at all today? Did that come up at all in meetings or anything, or are you sticking to that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Virginia coach said he got an apology. Did you get any apologies?
No, they don't send me a lot of apologies.
You said yesterday it was the correct call. The Pac-10 reprimanded the officials after you said that. So.
Yeah, we were wrong. The way that we had read it was, in a kicking formation, if there's no one under center and someone deeper than 7 yards, you cannot cut block. And then there's then I guess it goes into another bylaw of the rule that unless you don't kick it, if you don't kick it, then you actually can cut. So I was wrong as well as the officials.
You didn't mention Coach O and the injury report.
I know. Yeah, he broke his foot. It's sad to see. But it was really neat to watch. It was classic, Ogeron, and I know he was thinking of Marv when he was doing it. His foot was broken during that game, and he still ran up the tunnel with a broken foot because he refused to walk. Even once nobody could see him, he refused to walk on it. And I watched him do it, and I know he was thinking that Marv would be proud of him for running up there with a broke foot. So now his foot's worse, and he'll be out even longer now. But he showed how tough he was. It's the difference between toughness and smart sometimes.
In years past, Stanley Havili was always sort of a stabilizing force the offense could go to when things weren't going right. Do you have to make it a point to get him more involved?
Yeah, we do. I never anticipated we would struggle the way we did Saturday night on offense. I thought we'd be able to move the ball without using him that much. I kind of had gone into these first few games knowing that there is no scholarship backup fullback, trying to limit his touches. He's a really good player. It's just a new way of having to think, and almost backfired. We haven't given the ball very much. There's times we could have. Besides the 2-minute drill when he had the 1 carry, we've not put him at running back, even though he's a really good running back. I was just trying to make it through these games, thinking we could be explosive enough at other positions, and once we got going in the season, use him more because he's so valuable for us. That's why he's probably our best special teams player, but we don't play him on special teams for the same reason. And we try to limit his plays because there's no one behind him. The backup fullback's playing at UConn.
What were you guys struggling to run the ball so much against Virginia?
We had no explosive plays. We were very average up front. It just didn't come together. We got beat sometimes up front. Sometimes there'd be a hole and we'd miss a cut. There was no rhythm to it. For whatever reason.
Do you view that as your identity as a power running team? Is that what you?
This is not what we are right now. I'd like it to be. I think your identity is what the facts are. And the facts are what you've done lately. So we're not very good right now.
Lane, one more. Are you going to look to run the 2-minute drill more often now that the success it brought you, or the no huddle at the end of the first half last week?
Well, you just gotta you gotta remember too that if you start doing that when you're not in the 2 minute, it's a different situation. You know, everybody, you go down the field in 2 minute drills and everybody says, "So why don't you do it all the time?" Well, the defense doesn't play you the same way if you do it in a normal time. You know, because of the clock, they're more of a preventive mode. But it's something we'll look at. All right, thanks.
Thank you.